What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 194, and we start today's episode off with a game here in midweek against Cardiff City at the Den. Now, of course, in the last episode we beat Spurs in the Capital One Cup final by 3-1. Because of that, we had a midweek game here before another game on the weekend, and then won the week after. So a little bit of a congested fixture list, you can see by the league table. We're currently behind Chelsea, but only on goal difference, and of course we do have that game in hand. So coming into this game, just 1 point here against Cardiff, currently sitting in the relegation zone, would see us return to the top of the table. We really should be looking to win it, but we did rest quite a few players for this game. Not every single first team player, but quite a few, because of course, we would need to make sure that we have enough players fit for the weekend game, which was more important. Another game against Spurs. So we're still on Cardiff here, and the first chance fell there. Diaz shot from range, well saved by John Ruddy, and then Michael and Gu guiding this header just wide the post. So a couple of early chances in the first quarter of an hour. 10 minutes later, another good chance. Brilliant McCullough swings in this brilliant corner, but unfortunately Ngu's header is again well saved by John Ruddy. So just continue to break down the Cardiff goalkeeper. In the 37th minute, a good chance for the visitors to take a shock lead here as John goes down the left hand side here. Really good chance, he swings it across towards Cornelius, but Liali pulls off a good save there and keeps the score at 0-0. But we'd have to wait until the second half late on for another chance, and it will come to Cardiff actually, as we failed to get the ball away with here of Eric Dier. Unfortunately the ball gets played across the face of goal. John gets onto the ball, rolls it forward, and Rules strikes the ball wide. What a chance it was for Cardiff, but he fluffed his lines. But that was how the game finished. 0-0 draw. Very, 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 very uneventful, and not the result we were looking for at all. So yes, we return to top of the table. We do make that game in hand count technically, because we are now 1 point ahead of Chelsea, but really that's the game we should have won. Yes, we had some fitness problems after the back of that weekend game against Spurs where we won the Capital One Cup final. Yes, we had to think about the other weekend game again against Spurs, this time in the league, but to be honest, we still should have won that game, and the fact we didn't was very disappointing, to be honest. And we did take on Spurs, like I said, in the following game here, so another game against Spurs on the weekend, of course this time in the league. And as you can see, the fitness problems are beginning to mount up a little bit. Even the fact, I said before, even though we're not in Europe, even though we're not playing European football this year, which is what's going to give us a big advantage, we still do have some players that just can't seem to play the midweek games, or play on a very, very regular basis, and that's really frustrating. I think stamina this year is more of a problem. Fatigue this year is more of a problem. Last year it wasn't so much, at least I didn't think so anyway in career mode. This year you do seem to get a lot of players running out of stamina a lot quicker, so that's what I found anyway. But we do take on Spurs, and of course we beat them last weekend in the Capital One Cup final, so I definitely fancy my chances here on my return to White Hart Lane. And what a chance here for the former Spurs man John Joe Anderson to make it 1-0 just 10 minutes in, but unfortunately the shot was well saved by Courtois and we couldn't turn in with Mertens. So great stop by the Belgian goalkeeper there, but really that was my poor finish. In the 24th minute, a great ball by Junior Malanda releases another former Spurs man, Brian Carrasco. Nice little body feint, but unfortunately a shot towards the near post was well saved by Courtois, and from the corner it's Carrasco who crosses the ball in. He swings it towards the head of Eric Dier, who goes for it. It's cleared away only as far as Mertens. Mertens gives it to Triggsy, but unfortunately for us, Spurs went on the break here, and Daniel Sturridge created a 2-on-1 opportunity. It's Sturridge and Bale, the pace merchants, to come forward here. Gareth Bale offloads it to Christian Eriksen. The Danish playmaker strikes it, but Liali makes a great save. It's still 0-0, and as Sturridge finds Glenn Robinson, he finds Bale, but Dier makes a great block, and then the follow-up shot by Bale after we failed the clear goes straight to the gloves of Liali. So good chance there for Spurs on the break, but thankfully I didn't take advantage of it. And in the 29th minute, he see Brian Carrasco get on the ball. A couple of lovely pieces of skill moves to get around Nathaniel Klein, the right back here. Keeps on going, stops the ball here down the left flank. Nice little fake shot, then a drag back. Really good piece of skill by Carrasco, and he shoots. It's blocked, but it falls to Mertens on a rare start for the Belgian winger, who I have playing in the CAM slot in this game. Very rare start for him, but he gets the goal and makes it Spurs 0, Millwall 1. So in his final season, he's proven he can still be a very useful member for our squad, as he puts the ball past Courtois, who was on the floor there, and it's 1-0. But Spurs almost equalise here as Sturridge gets onto the ball. We failed to get it away, and unfortunately for us, despite blocking the first shot, he gets the rebound and puts it in at the second attempt to make it Spurs 1, Millwall 1. So Daniel Sturridge gets the goal, and unfortunately for us, the home side are back on level terms. But in the 63rd minute, a good chance for them to take the lead. Gareth Bale crosses the ball in. Gutierrez gets it away, but only temporarily. Glenn Robinson finds Eric Lamela, and what about this for a finish by the Argentine wide man? That is a fantastic side foot into the side of the net there. No chance for Liali. And a really good finish by Lamela there. So Spurs, unfortunately for us, back in front, and he was one of the very few players of that Spurs squad that I didn't replace in my 2 years there. I kept him as a regular member of the first team squad, and that's exactly why. Unfortunately, this is against us though. Brilliant finish by Lamela, no chance for Liali, and it's Spurs 2-1. And just a few minutes after that, they really did hit us. Danny Rose goes down left hand side, it takes on João Cancelo, back heels it towards Julian Draxler. Draxler, German, gives the ball to Ross Barkley. Barkley finds, guess who? Eric Lamela, and unfortunately he hits us once again. Great finish. It's Spurs 3, Millwall 1 with just over 20 minutes to go, and unfortunately for us, 3 goals in quick succession for Spurs, and our former club were not done next. In the 74th minute, Sturridge gets on the ball, great turn, finds Glenn Robinson. I tried to take him out with Gutierrez, I couldn't do so. He runs one-on-one, Dia couldn't catch up, and Robinson puts the finish in to make it Spurs 4, Millwall 1. So an absolutely diabolical afternoon here. We were in control of this game, we were playing so well, 1-0 up. We were, passing the ball around, getting a good feel for the ball, but unfortunately when Spurs are in the right mood, they are going to punish us, and they play good, quick, counter-attacking football, the style that I set up for them when I arrived there, and it was showing just how hard it is to beat on this game, because they were 4-1 up, and unfortunately we looked completely out of it. And in the 36th minute, the last chance really would fall to us. Scott Triggs taking aim from range here. Unfortunately, a shot went harmlessly wide of Courtois' post, and the game did finish Spurs 4, Millwall 1. So on my return to White Hart Lane, it is a miserable one. We get battered by our former club, and to be honest, if they need to stay in this title race, they have to win this game. Failing to win this game, you'd call them out of the title race completely. But now, after beating us, we were the league leaders. Now it's going to give them a lot of confidence to push on, because of course with their squad, even though the AI have butchered them a little bit, they still have a very good squad and should be capable of challenging to retain their title. But Danny Ings said thanks for getting the team so often for our following game against Newcastle here at the FA Cup. So we had to put behind that disappointment against Spurs at White Hart Lane. Had to put that disappointment behind us and take on Newcastle in the FA Cup. And as I said a few times this season, usually in the cup games I rest all the players, and I just want to make sure we have them all fit for the league games. But to be honest, coming into this game, I really do feel like we should be playing our first 11, because, in the FA Cup, we do need a good run, because, of course, the League Cup doesn't count in your objectives, or at least not what I found. And, of course, the board do want us to win the FA Cup, as well as win the league title. So with that in mind, we need to have a good run, and this game will put us into the semi-finals here. So as we take on Newcastle, the first chance we're in his 17th minute, a lovely run by Brian Carrasco, but the finish was just a little bit off target, goes harmlessly wide of the post, but still 0-0. But a couple of good early chances for us. But in the 22nd minute, a good chance for Newcastle breaking through here as Castaños gets on the ball. He's looking for a run, he plays it backwards. A great couple of passes here, sees Labia get on the ball. Seemed to be a little bit exposed at the back, so I just jockeyed him a little bit, but he played a fantastic through ball towards the number 9, but unfortunately he missed his chance there. A fantastic chance, but he put it wide. And the 31st minute, a good chance for us to score the first goal of the game. Triggsy boy plays that wide towards the Portuguese right back, João Cancelo. Lovely step over to get around Haidara, rise the challenge, what a cross as well. But unfortunately for us, Ings' bicycle kick is fantastically saved by the goalkeeper, so what a lovely goal it would have been. However, from the corner, Carrasco crosses the ball in, Ings wins the header, and he puts it past the goalkeeper. So he may have been denied just seconds earlier for that fantastic bicycle kick goal, but he does score the header there to make it 1-0. So good finish by Danny Ings. Read a few comments from people saying I should look to sell Danny Ings. Not entirely sure why. I think he's still a very good striker, he always has been. So good finish by Ings there, and it's 1-0. And in the 69th minute here, we get the ball out wide towards Brian Carrasco, the Chilean wide man. He gets past his man, Debussy here, goes to shoot, he's blocked, but he gets back past the French right back. It's cleared away by Yanga and Biwa towards Haidara, but Newcastle fails to get the ball away. He rolls it straight to Ermakov, but what a sitter that is. I really should have finished that simple chance. It was a big mistake by Haidara. It should have sewn us up the game, but I completely messed it up, and unfortunately I put the finish just wide of the post. And in the 74th minute here, Newcastle need the goal to force a replay, and as Labyad finds his man over the top here, unfortunately for us, I made a bit of a mistake with Liali, and unfortunately for us, I'm not sure who the goal scorer was, but he rounded the goalkeeper. But take nothing away from the finish, from the tight angle, one of the tightest angles there. That is an absolutely superb goal. Liali looks dejected. That's my fault. I thought Liali would have enough pace. That's why I brought him out. Unfortunately not. He gets around it, but what about that for a finish? That really is an AI on legendary finish. That no mistakes there. You couldn't make any mistake with that finish. It had to be perfectly accurate, and it was. But I made a substitution here a few minutes afterwards. I decided to bring off my right back, João Cancelo, and bring on Michael Ngu, because I feel like we need a bit of a change of emphasis emphasis. The pace was doing okay for us. The rapid front three was doing okay with us, but unfortunately it wasn't really working. So I decided to put drop down Danny Ings a little bit and play Michael and Gu up top. Look for the height, and in the 78th minute here, Luke Shaw gets on the ball, and with his first touch, Michael and Gu puts us back in front. So what a substitution that was, and Gu gets the goal there, and it's Millwall 2, Newcastle 1. So like I said, I needed a change of emphasis. The pace wasn't doing too badly, but I felt like in order to break down Newcastle and score that winning goal, we needed something different, and clearly it proved to be the right decision. And Gu comes on, scores with his first touch, lovely header, and we do win the game by 2-1. So we're through to the FA Cup semi-finals. So we're returning to Wembley. That should be fantastic, and hopefully, touch wood, we can go all the way and get ourselves through to another final. But as always, guys, a big thank you for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed the video, please leave a like, that's much appreciated. It really does help my channel out, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.